Welcome back to the Back in Time channel. Today we're going to talk about actress Nia Long. TMZ has reported an exclusive on the actress asking the judge for help because she has a stalker. This is what the media outlet is reporting. It says Nia is seeking a court-ordered protection from a woman she claims keeps showing up at her LA home under the false impression that they are in a romantic relationship. The actress beelined in the court Monday and filed for a temporary restraining order against a woman named Carrie McDonald. It also says that Nia claims McDonald is a quote-unquote stalker. Nia says she doesn't know the woman, but says that she has been harassing her for over 2 years, sending unwanted cards, flowers, gifts, and even showing up at her home on 2 occasions. Nia also claims that the woman showed up Saturday and rang her doorbell. She says the cops were called and the woman was arrested. Now, in these documents, Nia says that the same woman previously showed up at her home in the middle of the night in 2024, demanding that she open the doors, and then she says that the cops gave the woman a strong warning at that time and arrested her the second time she showed up. Nia asked for the court protection for herself and her 2 kids and her mother, but a judge denied the TRO pending a hearing in April. Now, I'm not exactly sure why the temporary restraining order was not granted by the judge. Maybe because the lady is still booked. I don't know, because they did arrest her Saturday, but nonetheless, they gotta be a scary situation. And on top of it, these celebrities aren't always home. So when people come by these homes looking for these people, they could be gone, they could be out of state, they could be anywhere, but the family is not always with these celebrities when they go and travel at different places. So for her to have her kids there and also her mom there, that is a scary situation. But this is not the first time that her family has been targeted with something similar to this, because in the past, her son has been targeted and Nia has been targeted by theft and fraud. An article was posted in 2023 at blackenterprise.com involving a man arrested in Los Angeles, California, pretending to be Nia Long's son. Now, the article stated that Tamir Rasul Morris was arrested last weekend in Santa Monica after he assaulted a random person in a park. And when questioned by police, Morris told them his name was Messiah Dorsey II, who is Nia Long's eldest 23-year-old son. Not only did he give Dorsey's name, he even gave his birthday by date and month, but Morris was off by 2 years. His verbal identity theft was exposed when he got to the police station and was fingerprinted, which revealed his real name and his birthday. Now, the article stated that he admitted to pulling Dorsey's personal information from the internet and that he was booked for assault with a deadly weapon and false impersonation, and that he was held for a $30,000 bail. But other articles went a little bit into details and said that the man was on his Facebook page. He even tried to follow other family members to get more information on him. Now, in 2007, there was this article posted at the Mariah Carey's Archives.com about Nia Long being targeted with identity theft and fraud. Now, the article reads, a couple charged with stealing the identity of a pop star and an actress pleaded not guilty Wednesday in federal court. Charles B. Curry Jr. and Shamika Drain Curry, both 28, are charged with identity theft, mall fraud, and bank fraud. Now, it says the judge allowed Shamika Curry to remain free on her own recognizance, but ordered Charles Curry to secure his release by posting his home and his parents' home as collateral. Now, Shamika's lawyer said that the charges against her were flimsy. The couple has separated and Shamika Curry is living with her mother in Rochester. Now, of course, her lawyer denied all of these charges, but they were also charged with stealing the identity of several people, including Grammy performer Ashanti and actress Nia Long, to illegally purchase cars, obtain credit cards, and write bogus checks. If convicted, they face up to 30 years in prison and $1 million in fine. The Currys, who have 3 children, lived on a Steel Pond Way in Henrietta until last fall when a U.S. postal inspector served a search warrant on their home. An investigation began in October 2006 when a bank said it had been the victim of credit card fraud. Postal inspectors learned of a sudden spike of financial mail to the Currys' home, including mail sent to their address in the names of Long and pop music diva Mariah Carey. There are no allegations, however, that Carey was a victim, said Assistant U.S. Attorney Richard, but a criminal complaint alleges that Shamika Curry impersonated Ashanti to buy a $36,000 Infiniti, impersonated Long to write and cash a check for $8,300. Charles Curry is charged with impersonating his father to buy a $31,000 Mercedes-Benz. Both are charged with defrauding the bank of $45,000 by impersonating an elderly Rochester woman to open a line of credit. Charles Curry told Feldman that he has been unable to work at a cleaning business he and his wife own since he was injured in an auto incident in February. Property records of the Monroe County Clerk's Office show that Charles Curry bought a house on Clemson Drive in Greece for $315,000 on April 3rd. So as we learned, this is not the first time Nia and her son has been targeted for theft and fraud. She was allegedly targeted in 2007. Her son was targeted in 2023. And now fast forward to 2026, not too long after, she's being targeted again, but this time by a stalker who's claiming she's madly in love with Nia and that they have been in a relationship. I honestly don't know what's going on. It's definitely something in the air. Celebrities being stalked is nothing new. It's the rate or the time frame in which everything is happening is what's got me really thinking, because we just seen what Rihanna property had got shot at and she was there with her kids, and luckily, thankfully, nobody was hurt. Then we also seen this weirdo pull up on Keke Palmer who tried to propose to her.
What's happening? I can't marry you. I don't know you. I'm so sorry. Sorry, sir. No, it's okay. Is this a prank? Y'all talking about no. That's why y'all get this. Very sweet. Oh, so sorry. Sorry, guys.
Now you got Nia Long being targeted again for like the second or third time with this stalker showing up at her property. And mind you that Nia Long says this is not the first time that this lady has came and stalked her. You would think for that reason alone, that's more than enough reasons to go ahead and grant her that order, but for whatever reason the judge didn't see fit. But hopefully Nia got some good lawyers that will help her in this process and get this situation taken care of. As you know, last week was the week that was really big for the Oscars, and there were a lot of great winners on that night. One of the winners, or the filmmakers, was Paul Thomas Anderson, who actually won that night for his film One Battle After Another. Now, the film had some celebrity cast, and among the celebrity cast was Regina Hall and Teyana Taylor. Now, I want to talk about this because Teyana Taylor was talked about a lot last week, particularly about her behavior, the way she was acting. She got a little bit of backlash for that. And I want to touch on the fact that there was rumblings of her and Regina Hall not being able to get along, or whether there was tension between the two. And what brought me to talk about this topic was I came across a media outlet, and they reported that they had an exclusive behind the scenes info that these two were like oil and water on set. Now, the media outlet that is claiming that they have this exclusive is Media Takeout. Yes, I know I said Media Takeout, but listen, I don't make the news. I'm just here to report what's being said and what has happened, allegedly. Okay, so with that being said, just take it with a grain of salt and let's just hear what they had to say. Now, the article states, according to a high-level production insider, the tension started early during filming in California. The source describes the two actresses as total opposites who just couldn't find a rhythm. Regina Hall, who played steady and loyal DeAndrea, is known in the industry for being low-key professional and quote-unquote regular. She's a seasoned vet who likes to do the work and go home. On the other hand, you have Teyana Taylor, who played the fiery revolutionary Perfidia. Teyana is quote unquote extra by nature. She's loud, she's high energy, and she's always in your face. Now it says Regina is a class act, but she has a very low tolerance for performative energy, the insider whispered to Media Takeout. The insider states that Teyana brings a whole circus with her wherever she goes. It's one thing to see it on Instagram, but when you're stuck in a trailer next to it for 6 months, it wears on you. Regina was over it by week 3. Now they also state that the energy that Regina don't really mess with her was given off and shifted during the Oscar press tour. It says while these lady plays nice for the cameras in joint interviews with Leonardo DiCaprio and Chase Infinity, the vibe shifted the moment quote unquote record button was turned on. The sources also stated that Regina got tired of all the extraness Teyana was bringing to every red carpet and panel. And it says while Teyana was winning Golden Globes and getting supporting actress nods for her quote-unquote manic portrayal of Perfidia, Regina, who many feel was the unsung hero of the film, stayed in the shadow. It also says the tension finally boiled over suddenly on the biggest night in Hollywood when one battle after another was announced as Best Picture winning. The entire cast rushed to the stage. They said while Teyana Taylor was seen screaming, jumping, and practically taking over the microphone during the celebration, the cameras caught the glimpse of Regina Hall standing in the back. Her face said 1,000 words. She looked completely quote-unquote done with the theatrics. And the article also stated that there was never a scream match or a physical quote-unquote beef, but the cold shoulder is often louder than a shout. Despite their characters being best friends in the film, there was even a cutscene that showed their deep bond. It seems the real life sisterhood just isn't there. And it says, with both women now at the peak of their careers following this movie's success, it's unlikely that anybody will ever see them sharing the screen again anytime soon. Now, if you can remember, all last week, Teyana was pretty much trending. They was talking about her. A lot of people were giving her backlash because of her behavior, I guess, the way she was acting at the Oscars. And then she had that thing that happened at the red carpet with the security go down.
You're a man putting your hands on a female.
And people were talking about that, and people also was just talking about how she was running up on stage, putting the filmmaker in the headlock. I would be lying if I said that people were not speculating that there was something going on between Teyana and Regina already, especially when their filmmaker won the award and they was up there and they was all excited.
But we're happy to be part of this, a wonderful, wonderful journey with our fellow nominees, our fellow filmmakers that even weren't.
Now, of course, after this surfaced online, people was wondering, like, why Teyana blocking Regina's view? And some people in the comments had come to Teyana's defense. Go ahead and check out some of these comments, and I'm going to come back with some more information. Now, you just had to look at the comments and you seen what everybody had to say, but Teyana had something to say also, and I'm going to go ahead and read what she posted from her X account online. It stated that the world holds so much misery that miserable hearts forget the face of happiness. They grow comfortable being sore losers, so when they see real sportsmanship, it unsettles them. Like holy water touching a demon, because clapping for someone else's victory requires something many people never learned: how to win with grace and pure joy, and how to lose with grace, chin up, and dignity. Now, she felt the need to put this because she was getting a lot of backlash. People were even calling her ghetto and everything. And then you did have some people defending her as well. Now, I will admit, I did see this video when it first started to surface online, and people were wondering why Teyana Taylor was kind of blocking Regina's view, and they were saying stuff in the comments. But I just really didn't make no big deal of it, right? I know how, things could look a certain way, but could be something totally different. But then when I saw that this story came, I was like, But then it was hard for me to believe, because I know how Regina Hall's character is, right? I know how her personality is when she's doing promo or when she's around her fellow castmates for the most part. Now, I don't know her personally, but I know what she presents and give off. And a lot of times she's very playful, or she likes to have fun with her co-stars. She even does silly things on stage with people all the time. She's always in comedic mode, even when she's not in acting mode.
Congratulations, David Allegreer. I just would like to say you deserve every flower tonight. I've watched you my entire 32 years of life.
So she's naturally funny. So it was hard for me to believe that her and Teyana was not getting along, because their characters or their personalities are a little bit similar, in my opinion. But for the sake of having a balanced opinion, let's just say hypothetically they weren't getting along, or hypothetically Regina wasn't too fond. What's the big deal? What is the big deal? I mean, yes, you would want two black women to get along, but honestly, what's different with those two than anybody else in the world, right? At the end of the day, it's just a gig. It's another job. It's the same thing as us regular smuggler everyday folks, right? We go and work with people all day long that we can't stand, or we have to fake smile in front of all day long, and we can't stand their guts. We can't stand to be around them. But when we're in professional mode, we're in professional mode. But when we're not around them, we happy-go-lucky. I don't really see what's the issue if they haven't had anything publicly, cursed each other out or had a war of words over social media. So what? The way I look at it is like this: personal versus business. Don't mix personal with business. Personally, I can put my feelings aside and work with you and continue to get a paycheck. And business-wise, if I don't like working with you in the future, I just won't. Now, of course, the right thing to say would be, well, I hope that they can work things out if it is something going on, and have a better experience with each other in the future. But I'm not going to say that, because you know why? Somewhere in the world, that is not somebody else's reality, right? Some people's personalities just don't mesh. Some people just don't get along, and that's okay too. Some people know that they won't ever get along, or know that they won't never work with each other again, and that's okay too. But I do hope the best for both of them in their endeavors in the future. But that's just what I think. Never mind what I think. Tell me what you think about the judge not granting Nia Long's TRO. Also, let me know what you think about Teyana and Regina Hall. Do you think it's some truth to what Media Takeout has claimed to be their exclusive, claiming that an insider has said that these two will probably never work again in the future? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
Be sure to like, share, and subscribe here with us at Back in Time. But until next time.
Don't you feel tough? Yeah! Don't you feel strong? Yeah! Don't you feel like going home? Sure! Yeah! Then get the hell out of my apartment and